Should you become a real estate agent? Probably not. Why should I not become a real estate agent? Number one, do not become a realtor if you are lazy.
So you have real estate agents now that, look, there used to be a time where a real estate agent, if they took on a client, first thing was understanding the client's need, understanding who the client is, understanding what their goals are for moving or finding a home and a property. And a real estate agent would make it their task to find that perfect home for that person, right? Or to really look at the marketplace and study what's out there and to sift through what's out there and find what the client really wants. But with the technology we have now with these online portals like Zillow, I mean, people are doing their own searching. So real estate agents, I mean, what are they doing? Yes, they're handling the contractual work. I get that part. But it seems like we're kind of lowering the bar for the expectations of the involvement. I mean, a real estate agent should understand construction. Let's say a client does find their own home on Zillow and they invite their real estate, hey, I found a house, I want to go look at it. I would think the real estate agent should be a person to help that client evaluate the conditions of that home, much beyond just looking, saying, oh, wow, that's a nice countertop. Or, oh, look, the roof has been replaced. But I mean, really getting into the weeds of the home, not to be an inspector, but I think the real estate agent should be the first inspector, right? Yes, they're not a licensed inspector. I get that. But they should have enough knowledge about how a house is built that they can help the client make a very informed decision as far as what they're getting into, whether it's a project and that's an expected project and they can help the client understand the areas that they'll have to make improvements should they buy the home, or if it's a home just ready to go. Maybe the client isn't looking for a project, so they should be able to help the client factor in whether the house meets that standard or not. So I did a couple workshops earlier in the year called Realtors Need to Learn Construction Too. And I stand on that. Realtors need to learn construction. They need to be familiar with building codes. So that way they can see if things are out of whack or not. They need to be identify if things are looking good or where the trouble areas are, again, to make an informed decision. Maybe the client is willing to take on a project, no problem. But what is that project? What is overview of the scope of what that project may be? You know, realtors are just kind of jumping in, getting it, taking their however many hours and getting their license. And then they're, trying to purport themselves to be experts of, real estate. And that's so far from true. Now, you may be a great salesperson, but I believe being an expert at real estate means you are an expert at how that asset is produced, how that asset comes to be about, how the house is built. Now we can talk about being an expert at something in real estate, right? Not the sales process. That's different. Yes, you may be an expert at the sales process, but that's not the same as being an expert in houses or how a house is built. A lot of folks may disagree. I don't care. I tell a real estate agent, hey, give me 10 building codes that a homeowner should know. Off the top of the head, what type of electric circuitry is required in the kitchen. Basic things that they should know, that they should be able to help people look for. So that's my beliefs, my opinions. Everybody might not share, but I think we'll do better. Homeowners, home buyers would do better if their realtors knew more about construction. Realtors, I don't know what we're doing. When someone buys a house, we're talking about shelter, right? One of the basic tenets of mankind, shelter. how important shelter is to a person, how sacred that shelter becomes to a person. When a realtor is in the position of helping people to make that decision, I think that's just a real intimate relationship. You know, I mean, a realtor, like, you're literally helping to shape someone's life, because where you live shapes your life. I mean, look, I'm in a house that I built, and it literally, I took it on because I wanted, like, that's how important a house is to me, that I actually wanted to build my own house. I wanted to shape every last detail of the house because of how important the functionality and the layout of a house, how it affects people. So when you're selling a house to someone, or when you're helping someone to buy a house, you know, you're helping that person to get into a position that should enhance their life. It's not just about the commission check. And I see a lot of realtors who, again, they're putting in bare minimum. They get their check. It's probably the last that the person hears of that realtor. Like, there's just, like, where is the humanity in the business transaction? And again, I'm not talking across the board about all realtors. They are great realtors. There are some horrible realtors. Pick in the industry. They're great lawyers. They're horrible lawyers. Great police officers, horrible police officers. All right. I'm talking about how the horrible realtors are affecting the world by not being more involved, more engaged, more educated, and using that power to help people make better decisions. There are people who buy houses that regret it shortly afterwards, because maybe that house wasn't the best purchase for them, because maybe their realtor did not really absorb the process as much to really help them, you know, as much as possible. I mean, these are, you should be having some real good conversations with your realtor about your home buying desires and preferences, right? It's more than just a commission check. It's setting someone's life up for success. Their family, right? Their work. We have a lot of people work at home now, you know, so your work life is dependent upon where you live, how you live. I think we can do a lot better, because look, when you buy the wrong home, when a person buys the wrong home, the level of frustration, stress, and everything that follows that, like, you can really damage people internally when they buy the wrong home, right? Someone can really be damaged for a very long time. I mean, you just can't get out of that, right? You just can't, oh, you know what, we bought the wrong home, let's go buy another one. So I think we can really care more about the process, care more about the people involved in the process, and just kind of factor that in as to how we do business as real estate agents, which is the same with construction. You know, I'm not putting a standard on real estate agents that I'm not putting on construction workers, you know, and contractors. We should be putting that same type of integrity, right? The level of integrity of our work should be very high, because I'm building a house for somebody. I'm building a house for someone to live in, and that's just setting them up for the future. So that should be a positive experience. So these are my thoughts. This is my show, so I get to speak on what I think about. People, you're welcome to comment. You're welcome to leave your opinions. Doesn't mean I'm going to change mine, but what happens is we're going to conversate more. And that's really the purpose of the show, the purpose of my comments, the purpose of me expressing my opinions. I know I'm not the only one who thinks like this. There are many other contractors, many developers, many realtors, and we all have a different set of perspectives based on our experiences. The more we talk about it, I think the better it is for the industry. So let's continue to have conversations with the contractor. I'm Munir Bahar. This is Conversations with the Contractor. Stay tuned to the next show.